Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asad Yaqub and I am from Lahore, Pakistan, and I teach IELTS here in Lahore, and I also teach IELTS all over the world with the help of my online IELTS classes. Now in this video I am going to teach you, rather I am going to tell you some strategies and some tricks and some tips if you got to deal with multiple choice in section 3. IELTS reading section 3 is already difficult, multiple choice is already difficult, okay, and the questions are like 37 to 40. So if multiple choice comes in section 3, what type of questions are there and what are the strategies to deal with that? So if you watch this video carefully, by the end of this lesson you'll be able to understand the tricks of the examiner. Once you understand the tricks of the examiner, you will come up with some tricks to deal with the examiner, to deal with the paper, to deal with the test. And once you find the right tips and tricks to deal with the test, IELTS reading will become something easy for you. I mean, I'm going to present you IELTS reading in a plate that here you are. This is IELTS reading, don't worry at all. So we are going to solve this test together. Let's go to the book, we solve the test and then we get back. Okay, now let's come to the book, and we've got the last 37 to 40 questions, and these are like 37, 38, 39, 44 questions, and here the greatest band like 8, 8.5 and 9 band, they are decided. Let's see questions 37 to 40. Choose the correct letter A, B, C or D. Okay, now you got to choose one letter and the questions are there, and again I tell you the questions are in passage order. First you will find 37, you'll find the answer, then 38, then 39 and then 40. Now let's do it the way we did it before. According to the writer, what might early traders, now the clue word is early traders, have disagreed about? Now let me tell you, in section 3, the last questions, you will not find the answer directly. You will have to focus, read carefully, understand and then determine on your own whether they agreed or they disagreed and all that. So according to the writer, what might early traders have disagreed about? That's what we need to find. So don't read the options first. First go to the part of the passage where they are talking about, according to the writer, this is one thing, what might early traders have disagreed about? What might early traders disagree? Two clue words, early traders and disagreed about. Now let's go back and we scan it from the beginning. Yeah, this first paragraph was untouched ever since we started, so we can focus on that. Early traders and disagreed and all that. Okay, so they say a purpose of international commerce is to buy things, countries and all that, people who traveled foreign lands, and then agriculture countries, they talk about that. All that needed to be negotiated was a fair price for the items. How many X's is a barrel of oil worth? For example, currency did not enter into the first deals, but now currency was not there, but even when it did, few problems existed. Now what were those few problems? Few problems existed to complicate matters, bearing disagreements over the value of goods. Now what happened? Currency did not enter into the first deals, but even when it did, few problems existed to complicate matters, barring disagreements over the value of goods, right? So it's barring the disagreement over the value of goods. Let's see, according to the writer, what might early traders, now how do we understand it's early traders? Because there they are saying that the currency and all that needed to be negotiated was fair price to the item, how many X's and all that, currency did not enter. Currency did not enter, from here we understand they're talking about very early times. And again they say hundreds and indeed thousands of years ago. Now from here also we understand hundreds and even thousands of years ago they are talking about early times, right? Now what is that? Let's come back to it again. According to the writer, what might early traders have disagreed about? And they say currency did not enter into the first deals, but even when it did, few problems existed to complicate matters, barring disagreements over the value of goods. So they had disagreements over the value of goods. Let's see. The comparative value of goods. Yes, exactly. Value of goods is written as it is. Next, B, which currency to use for their deal? No. Which item they wanted as exchange? No. The quality of the goods being traded? No. And A is going to be the right answer. Got it? Okay, you need a high level of English, advanced level of English to understand all these things. They are quite mind-boggling. When I solved this all test, it was mind-boggling for me as well, but now I have solved so many tests. So guys, remember, practice is the only thing. If you practice more and more and more, then you will be able to understand them. 38. What is the main consequence of a product being in demand? Now, a product being in demand, what is the main consequence of that very product? Now we found 37 here. In order to find 38, we need to go ahead and we need to come up here. I just found it already, but you need to scan. Okay, now they say, for instance, nearly everyone wants to own a television or a mobile phone, and there is a lot of competition in the area of production, forcing the prices to be competitive too. Okay, now what's the question? The question is, what is the main consequence of a product being in demand? Now a product being in demand, for that they are using the word, for instance, nearly everyone wants to own a television. Product being in demand. Nearly everyone wants to own a television or a mobile phone, and there is a lot of competition in the area of production, forcing the prices to be competitive too. Now this thing is forcing the prices to be competitive too. The producers have to sell a large number of items to make a profit because their profit margin is small. So just keep this in mind. The producers have to sell a large number of items to make a profit because their profit margin is small. Now, what is the main consequence of a product being in demand? It means they need to make a large number of items. See that? Higher prices? No. Because they mention here, nearly everyone wants to own TV and there is a lot of competition in the area of production, forcing the prices to be competitive. When the prices are competitive, they are not high. So it means this higher prices is just a trap. Smaller profit margins. Yes, exactly. You can see it here. Prices to be competitive. The producers have to sell a large number of items to make profit because their profit margin is small. So there they say smaller profit margins. Fewer items being produced? No. Less market competition? No. They are saying there is too much competition. So this is against it. These three options are against, and this one is the right one. 39. How might an agricultural community be destroyed? Now the clue word is agricultural community, and how might agricultural community be destroyed? First we find about it, then we read about it, then we'll come to the option and see from, because we understand they are talking about reasons, and how also means that there should be the reason. We need to find the reason and then we'll come back. How might an agricultural community be destroyed? Now let's look for the reasons. We've done 37 over here, and then 38 over here, and then we need to scan for the word agriculture, and I scanned it over here. This is the word agriculture. Okay, I have done this test already, that's why I know it, but you guys need to scan. Now let's see, what do they say? Worse still, while the agriculture land is given over to cash crops, it robs the local people of the ability to grow their own food. Again, worse still, okay, then they say, and worse still over here, and if you come back here, how might an agricultural community be destroyed? Be destroyed, and if you come back here, it's written worse still. Worse still, while the agricultural land is given over to cash crops, it robs the local people of the ability to grow their own food. So what is that? What is the worst thing? It robs the local people of the ability to grow their own food. Okay, now please come back. How might an agriculture community be destroyed? Because companies in richer countries steal from them? No. Because they ask an unrealistically high price for their produce? No. Because they overuse the land in order to grow cash crops? Exactly, overuse. And D is because the crops take much too long to grow? No. Because they overuse the land in order to grow cash crops. Cash crops are those which they sell, right? So because they overuse the land in order to grow cash crops. Why this is the answer? Because it is here, word still, while the agricultural land is given over to cash crops, it robs the local people of the ability to grow their own food. The agricultural land is given over to cash crop, agricultural land is given over to cash crops. It robs the local people of the ability to grow their own food. And here they say because they overuse, right? They overuse, and there they are saying it robs the there they are saying land is given over to cash crops. Given over or overuse. Okay, this is the answer. Last question, number 40. The word paradox in the final paragraph, now they have mentioned, refers to the fact that, now which fact? We got to see in the last paragraph word paradox. So let's find, this is the last paragraph and we got the word paradox here. Although many big businesses are cynical about an operation that does not regard profit as a main driving force. Okay, this is misprint, main. Although many big businesses are cynical about an operation that does not regard profit as a main driving force, the paradox. Now what is the paradox? The paradox is that it will help them too. The paradox is that it will help the people too with sustainability as their man and all that. The word paradox in the final paragraph refers to the fact that, now what is the fact they have mentioned? The paradox is that it will help them too. It will help them too. Now let's come back. A poorer people will become richer than the people who run big businesses? No. By being cynical, the big businesses have helped produce a result they do not want? No. The supplier of raw materials will, they didn't talk about that, will sell them to big businesses? No. Big businesses will gain from these policies although they don't support them. Big businesses will gain. Now let's see that. Although many big businesses are cynical, big businesses are cynical about an operation that does not regard profit as a main driving forces, the paradox is that it means big businesses. It will help them too. It means many big businesses. So what is that? Big businesses will gain from these policies although they don't support them. They don't support them, but they will gain from these policies. So D is the right answer. Okay, we done it. Bingo. We have done it, or we did it. We did it. Let's celebrate. If you are going to attempt IELTS like this, right? I mean, the way we did it, believe me, you can get 9 out of 9. Total bands in reading is 9, so you can get 9 out of 9 if you are going to do the test in the same way. Right? Now, if you don't understand any of the things, you can watch, I would recommend you watch my video, like one video twice or thrice, even that is good for you. You can improve your skills and these tips, and right after watching the video, now you watch the video on multiple choice. Do some practice tests and focus on multiple choice only. When you watch the video on true false not given, then after that you can do some practice tests only true false not given. This will help you a lot, and then you will understand, rather you will apprehend, and then you will come up, you know, when a person is driving the car, he knows when to shift the gear, he knows when to give the ignition if you're going to turn right or left and all that stuff. So automatically your mind will work like the driver's mind is working. When he's turning, he's doing it automatically like this, and when he's giving ignition, he's doing it, he's shifting the gear. All the things are going on autopilot. So once you follow my techniques, you practice IELTS reading while following the techniques, things will be on autopilot, and then you'll be solving IELTS test with great enjoyment, with great confidence, with great excitement, and you'll be doing like this. Okay, I'm solving IELTS reading. This will happen with you. So if you like this video, hit on the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel. I also run 2 more channels. One is Asad Yaqub Vlogs and the other one is Asad Yaqub Languages. In Asad Yaqub Languages, I teach English and some other languages, and on my channel Asad Yaqub Vlogs, I share some videos about my life, about my lifestyle, some fun activities I do and all that stuff. Along with this, I also teach IELTS online. If you want to join my online IELTS classes, my number is given. You can contact me directly for online classes. Asad Yaqub wishes you all the best with your IELTS preparation, and I wish you a fantastic band score that starts from here: 6 if your requirement is 6, 7 if your requirement is 7, 8 if your requirement is 8, and 9 if your requirement is 9. With this great band score, I wish you all the best. Take care. See ya.